All right, everybody, you are here watching this video right now because you have already done the check-in, the mindful moment, and we watched an animation short. That's how we started class today. You have already went ahead and finished your dancing figure animation, and you are now ready to complete your splash animation. I'm going to click the link here. It's going to bring me down to slide number 5. That tells us that we are going to be creating an animation that illustrates water or liquid splashing. Now, I can think of a ton of different ways that you could do this. A bucket of liquid falling over, a wave coming over and crashing, or maybe even like one of those water balloons exploding like we saw at the beginning of class, okay? Whatever you want to do is up to you. But I did want to show you a couple skills that you might need for this. And to do that, I am going to demonstrate this bucket falling over. You do not have to do a bucket falling over, but I do want you to watch this video to check out the new skill that I'm about to show you. Okay? So I'm going to head over to Brush Ninja. Make sure I'm on a new page. And I'm going to turn my color to gray. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my little bucket. I'm even going to use a bigger paintbrush size for this so that all I have to do here is I'm going to sort of make an oval shape. And then I'm going to kind of drop that down on both sides, sort of at an angle with a curved bottom. So I'm just sort of going to fill all of this stuff in. Maybe use a smaller one to sort of smooth it out a little bit. Kind of just making this sort of shape here that gets a little bit wider at the top than at the bottom. Okay, change it to black. I'm going to go to a smaller size brush and I'm just going to add the outline or the details. So again, it's sort of like a oval shape for the top of my bucket. So you can kind of see inside there. Excuse me. And then I'm just going to sort of trace down on the sides. And I'm going to put a bottom on the bucket. Just for a little extra bonus detail, I'm going to go ahead and put that handle there, which is sort of this big U-shaped curve. And then I have a nice little bucket. Now the new tool I wanted to show you for this, it's not really a new tool, I guess it's a new way to use a tool that we've already been using. I'm going to go and grab my select tool here. And you may or may not have started to look at some of these things here on the side, okay? There's some other sort of tools or customizations that you can do with these things here on the side. That only happens when I click on my select tool. Now what I want to show you is something called grouping. So I just used a lot of different shapes and lines to create my bucket, right? And I could select each one of them individually. I could erase, I could move if I needed to, right? But I want them all to sort of belong together now, like I made them from one piece. So again, with my select tool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click anywhere else in this white space, click, hold, and drag. And it's going to drag out this sort of purple box here. I have now selected all of those shapes and lines at the same exact time, and I'm going to group those things together. Now when I click on my bucket, it's just one thing that I can move around. I'm going to go ahead and start my splash. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to start to tip my bucket over a little bit. I'm going to copy. I'm going to tip my bucket over even more. And I'm going to start adding some water splashing out of this bucket. So I'm just using my paint bucket. I'm sort of taking a guess here at what this might look like if water was going to start pouring out of here. Okay. Copy. I'm going to go ahead and do that technique again where I'm going to select everything and group them so that I can have them all sort of follow the same rules at the same time, if that kind of makes sense to you guys. I'm going to keep turning. I'm going to add a little bit more water falling out. Water kind of does this thing where it sort of starts to separate a little bit sometimes. Might even have a little bit of a splash coming off. Remember, that's our big word today, splash. So I might make these other little pieces, hunks of water here, sort of splashing off. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna select everything. I'm gonna group them together. Maybe do a little bit more turning. Gonna add a little bit more water pouring out, maybe a lot of water this time. And then maybe just one more time here. I think this time I'm gonna kind of leave everything as it is, maybe delete these little splashes here. And I'm just gonna sort of have the water keep running out of the bucket. And across my table. I'm even gonna get a little fancy. I'm gonna go in here with a white. And I'm gonna sort of delete some of the water, I think. That might be another cool thing you can do, is sort of delete some of it as we go here, because it will kind of stop pouring out of the bucket at that point. All right, whenever I think I'm good, I can play it, kind of test my theory here, and I now have some water splashing out of a bucket all over my canvas. Remember, you don't have to do this. I just wanted to show you that grouping technique and sort of the general idea of having water splash and move across your page. All right, be creative, have some fun, and don't forget to put it in your portfolio once you're done.